Welcome to 𝐏𝐑𝐈𝐂𝐄 𝐏𝐑𝐄𝐃. We talk about investing, finance, a professional woman. So current time of exactly 2:02 p.m. on Eastern time on August 9th on Tuesday. Ethereum could trade $1,694, down about 4.67% so far. It's my second posting, by the way. I know it's kind of rare. I typically post just once a day now, but today I have some time, and I'm also like enjoying my my air conditioning unit during the summer hot humid days in New York City. So I think I might be just like leaving my AC on throughout the day. It's quite hot. Like it's like the moment you walk outside, and I went out for a haircut. If you don't notice, I know it's still kind of raw at the moment. I need to like kind of wash it, and then like, cause right now it looks kind of waxy, which is not, it's not the the look I'm looking for, but it's I guess it's presentable enough, and so I decided to just like hop on the camera again. Always I want to make sure that I'm more buttoned up, or at least like look decent. I know my background looks terrible, like I'm in my bedroom talking. Like, what am I, like a high school student talking to you guys? I'm like 31 years old, but I get it. But I appreciate you for joining me anyways. And talking about the real topic again, I would say across the whole macro market today has been just relatively down. It's been weighted down by a lot of negative tech earnings and more news around inflationary pressure. So just looking at the media front, across the spectrum right now, I can see that the stock market across the spectrum down about 1%. Nasdaq and Russell 2000 both are down about 2%, while the VIX is rising high, up 2.5%, which makes a lot of sense because of the CPI report that's coming out at 8:30 a.m. on the Eastern time tomorrow. And there's some like political news that's kind of percolating, today across the spectrum. Seems like with respect to just on the inflationary front, we know that CPI report's coming out tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Ultimately, no one can really predict what's that number for July, but we hope that we are aligned, compared to Wall Street expectation, or if not, we're going to be seeing some pop the balloon type of affectation, knowing the fact that on a technical front, we've been quite extended, right? And this is something that if we've been following the videos on a day-to-day basis, we know that we've been quite extended for about a month and a half so far. And with respect to some news that I'm seeing right now, seems like Ford, obviously an American auto company, has to raise the price for the electric vehicle F-150 Lightning due to significant material cost increases. Makes sense, right? Commodity price increases, the parts of the car increases. So for the company to sustain its profitability margin going forward, they have to increase the price point, which makes a lot of sense. Inflation definitely doesn't do well for consumers, nor for the companies either, and for producer either. And with respect to other news that I'm seeing happen like 20 minutes ago, Biden is to sign a ratification document approving Finland and Sweden NATO bids. Seems like there's some political stir into the market, but nothing directly correlated in terms of the inflationary pressure, but something that we should still be aware of anyways. And then other news that I'm seeing, just looking at some of the other stuff that it doesn't seem to be that many news that's really worth our time to be, mentioning at the moment. It seems like the 10-year yield is still levitating about 2.8%, up a little bit, not really up or down though. But obviously we talked about the Ezra Miller, which is Flash. He's being charged for felony because of burglary. I saw the joke that you guys posted in the comment section earlier today. It's like, he's the Flash. Like, how can you, get caught being the Flash? I don't know. Obviously, it's a joke, right? And there's some news around Trump tax returns. He's quite good at it with his superpower accountants and tax lawyers onto making him look a certain way in the financial and accounting front. It's a mystery to this day on how his tax return looks like, and how he's able to avoid paying taxes historically. And also, as you probably have seen the news recently with respect to the pop star Shakira, I think she's being fined for $15 million for tax that she did not pay. I mean, like, she's such a nice lady, and I think, like, you know, it's terrible to see what's going on, but I don't know. I don't know her enough to know. So, anyways, enough of the trivial news. Let's just dive right into the technicals. With respect to recording time of 2:07 p.m. on the Eastern time, we are still gluing around the $1,700 or 1693 if we want to be mad precise. So we're basically, you know, leaning down to the next level of 1650, right? Or going back up to the 1750 all the way up to the 1860. So based on what we know so far, right, with respect to tomorrow catalyst of the CPI report, if we see a positive one, we're obviously going to come back up, you know, to be 1750. If we even get a even more positive signal, right, let's just say we do, and then we get the momentum from there, we can go up all the way to 1860. But if we don't, right, and I think, you know, based on the pump that we saw, this was mainly driven by the positive drop report that happened last Friday, we might see some sell-off, right, coming down to the next level, 1650, and then up all the way down to 1550, and by doing that, you basically break down the resistance level of 54 out of 70, and you kind of have to come back down all the way to 35 out of 70, and that would triangulate to somewhere around, somewhere like 1450 all the way to 1250 from here, right? So Bitcoin, you can see that we're 23,000, down 3.12% so far. This doesn't look good to me because this looks like an upward wedge, right? And I can show you something quite similar, but it's in a different chart. This is referring to Palantir, which I'll show you in the chart later in this video, that is triangulating a similar pattern, right? This looks like an upward triangle, an upward wedge looking to be broken. And at the same time, we've been extended, right? You can see that we've been durating this surge ever since June 24th, all the way till now. So we're looking for some sort of cross section. So as we break 51 out of 70, coming down to next level of support, technically it should be somewhere around like 45, and then next level 35 is more likely, right? So seeing like 21,000 again, well, 20,000 again would not be a surprise. And I was talking about with respect to Palantir, so let me just look at something I saw recently. It's down 7.5% because of the missed earnings, right? You could see that it's quite similar, right? You could see the upward escalated wedge, right? And eventually, as you stretch up for quite some time, you gotta look for a cross section, and this is what's happening with respect to Palantir, right? You see that as you elongate the upward wedge, which is the triangle that we try to form. If you kind of mash the two lines together and form an apex here at 1160, you pop the balloon, you break it down all the way to 906 right now. So we've been down about quite a lot, like 15% so far, right? So similar in terms of the trends that you see on Bitcoin, right? And I'm not making things up, right? But obviously it's not going to be as dramatic in comparisons to Palantir, because of the large amount of digits, and also because it's less volume for Palantir in comparisons too. So that's why it's going to be a little bit more stable. So the sell-off's not going to be as severe. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So across the spectrum, I would say it's quite bearish, right? I would say both stocks and on crypto side of the ecosystem, we're trading on a fairly similar momentum. So like daily wise, we're quite bearish, but weeks and months out, we should see some recuperation from here. Okay, so have a good rest of the day, and stay chill, stay hydrated, and let me know how it goes. Take care. Bye.